Hey, did you see that thing? A recent survey that discovered that most of us only have 4 people that we can trust. We can have hundreds of friends on Facebook, followers on Instagram, and yet when it comes to the crunch, and the crunch is where we live day to day, face to face, eyeball to eyeball, this cyber world that we're participating in right now, you and me, can never replace for us the true skin on skin, eyeball to eyeball deal that we were designed for thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of years to participate in and live within. We can't live in an abstract reality, can we? My point being this, and the point of that survey being 4 people that we can trust. I mean, when I first heard that, I thought, 4? I ain't got 4. Trusting people is very, very hard. The fact is, we can never really know what goes on in the private chambers of another person's mind. Trust is a requirement. They say if you want to know if you can trust someone, trust someone. Give them the opportunity to be trusted. The survey discovered also that men are more likely to forgive someone who betrays them than women. Women find it very, very hard to forgive someone who's betrayed them, according to this data. It's tough, isn't it, when someone lets you down? Those scars run deep. That wound is a difficult one to surmount, to overcome, to heal, to leave behind. I feel like my own inability to trust is, I'm assuming it's to do with my early life conditions, but the fact is that I'm now a man, at very least approaching, if not fully inhabiting, middle age, and this is a time to review what my attitudes to major subjects such as trust are, and if I'm found wanting, to alter them. In certain contexts, I trust people. I'm lucky to have affiliations with people through support groups, for example, where trust is a component, i.e. I'm honest with them. I'm not trying to manipulate or control. I suppose you could say that these words, manipulate, control, distant, suspicion, these are all the opposite of trust. I wonder why it is that we find trust so difficult. Presumably, and speaking personally, it's because we've been hurt and we've discovered that it's easier to not trust people, to keep people at a distance, rather than once again experience the dread of betrayal. But at what cost? What type of lives do we live when we don't trust people? Well, in my own case, it's quite an insular one, where the people that I trust, maybe we're only designed to trust a few people. You go around trusting everyone, that's kind of naive. We're living in an age, in a civilization, in a system that kind of encourages exploitation, by which I mean our economic systems are built on exploitation. It's just completely unavoidable. The camera that's filming this, the phone that you're watching this on, my phone, it's built on the exploitation. Capitalism is a form of exploitation, i.e. the labour that is exchanged for the money. There's a margin in it, and that margin is the exploited aspect. And now we live in this time where more and more people are impoverished, more and more people are we live in a time that lacks trust. Fake news in our media, disingenuous stories, manipulative companies, tax fraud. How can we trust anyone? It's kind of exhausting. Well, I suppose we have to again return to face-to-face relationships. We have to take a risk. We have to open ourselves to the possibility of trust. I'm going to treat this person as if they're trustworthy. They say in therapeutic circles that if you afford people, e.g. trust and love, they grow into the space that you have created for them. In your familial and intimate relationships, trust is absolutely necessary. If you don't trust your partner, where do you go from there? Where do you go from there? I don't see how you can really proceed without incredible focused work. I feel that I trust people as much as I need to. I trust people conditionally and in certain contexts, because that's the way my life has been. Like when I think of some of the dumb things I've done, trusting people with, like, you go and get me some drugs with that money. Like, trusting people, like, if you've occupied low life for any reasonable amount of time, then it damages you. So for me, 4 people that you trust, I don't know, maybe this is just a revelation of something that's actual as opposed to something that needs to be adjusted. There's all sorts of people that I love, but when I say that I don't trust loads of people, what I mean to say is there's not that many people that I would put in positions where trusting them was absolutely vital. That's the truth of the matter. You know, there's not that many people that I tell intimate, private things. There's not that many people that I say, will you do this for me? But I am reliant on communities for my own sanity, for my own recovery. And there is trust, honesty, open-mindedness, willingness. These things exist in that setting. And frankly, I think I might be happier if I lived in societies or groups where trust was paramount, where there was mutual trust, where there was a bond. It's one of the things I admire about people that have done military service, that regardless of personal suspicions, dislikes, or lack of compatibility, there is a trust that exists with people that have served together, a deep sense of we have got a shared purpose. Now, there's a high price to pay for that, the level of discipline, the level of sacrifice, the risks you have to take, none of which really suit the type of person that I've found myself to be over the years. But I suppose it tells us that if you value trust, then one way of achieving that is by belonging to a community with mutual aims and goals, and of course by becoming trustworthy yourself. I do think I've become that. I do think I've become, as I've got older, more and more honest, more and more reliable, less willing to be involved with deception because of the spiritual path. Like you, I found the material world wanting. Not that I don't like stuff. What I mean to say is, by prioritising other people's validation, by prioritising getting things, prestige, privilege, pleasure, I end up feeling empty. My own pain has taught me that. So for me, trust is something where I'm going to have to continue to do a lot of work. So hopefully, sometimes I watch these back, as a matter of fact, and I go, you're right, that would actually work. You should try doing that. So what I'm going to do is give more people trust, belong to communities where trust is paramount, and find shared purpose and meaning with others. I suppose if we're talking about trust, the obvious things are relationships and friendship. If you want to learn more about communication within a relationship, check out my video on that. Link's in the description. If you want to learn more about friendship, the link is in the description for that. Stay with us. We love you. Hello, I'm doing these new videos more frequently now. Please hit the notification button at the end of this video, because then you'll get a little bell when I post a new video, and I'd like you to get a little bell when I post a video. Then I can, I don't know, be buzzing away in your pocket. Sounds like I'd be like a little pocket mosquito. Anyway, subscribe, click the bell, because I want more people to watch the YouTube videos. You specifically.